I'm Sanjay Gandhi. In today's session, let us learn about scrolling table chart. Scrolling table chart should be showing us number of months available once we try to scroll the scroll bar at the bottom, or if we try to change the number in the table. Let us preview. If we try to scroll further, for example, we can see number of months changing over here. And if we go back, for example, over here, left side, scroll back, number of months coming down. Along with that, we can see the conditional formatting working on its own and displaying the months available in the scroll bar. Check that. Plus, we got the direct feature available where we want number of months to be 4, for example. Once you press 4 over here in the table, for example, you can see 4 months available. And if we try, for example, 6 months, we can see 6 months available. Let us learn. To apply scrolling chart, we need to pick up some inputs. Row number. If I try row number function on the current cell, for example, I get to see current row available, as you can see over here. If I scroll down, for example, I can see the numbers will change. I have the same function here, row and row here, and that shows me current row number and the current row number available here, matching the actual row number in Excel. If I try to change, for example, the content here by typing minus 23, for example, and press enter, what do I get? I get a sequence number available over here, serial number. And if I try that, for example, by saying minus 22, for example, over here, I can get numbers starting from 2. This can help us in applying serial number within a function available if we need to apply the serial number within any function. Next, we pick up on range name. If I get my regular total here, for example, equal to sum, pick up the value from here, for example, I can see my value total is appearing here as the answer, and that's 950. So that matches with the total that is available here, as we can notice in this example over here. If I try, for example, to assign the range name, then I can directly refer to that range available. Range names are specified over here. If I go to name manager in formulas tab, I can see there is no range name defined so far. I can either go to new, define that here, or I can simply choose the entire column along with the caption on the top and then try to apply formulas tab, create from selection, and the shortcut is Ctrl Shift F3. If I click on that now, for example, I get a new window available and top row is my range name available here. This is my range name for this range. I say OK. And when I go back to the formulas tab and name manager here, I can find the name defined over here. Because the name is ending in a number, so it's ending with the underscore automatically. Because we cannot have the range name with space, we should have it as one word. If I now try over here, for example, equal to sum, and start with the range name available, you can notice that I get the range name available here as one of my entries. Press the tab to complete that, close bracket, enter, and we get the value here. Check that, and that matches with the sum available over here. That's what the range name can be. You can define range name for a column or for a table and use that range name anywhere in the current workbook. Let's pick up the next function. We'd like to learn about offset over here. Function offset means I refer to a cell, for example, this one, and from that cell, I want to pick up a value that could be few columns away and few rows down over here. If I pick up a value this, for example, this can be, for example, column number 1, but row number 1 and 2. So if I refer to a reference over here, for example, I'll be referring to this answer by using second row and first column. Let's have the example equal to offset. Reference is my current column corner. Now this becomes my 0, 0 as my row and my column. Therefore, this becomes my row number 1, complete. This becomes my column number 1, complete. Column number 2, complete. So if I refer to this answer, for example, I want this answer over here. I can say comma, the row has to be 1 and 2 because this is 0 row and 0 column. So if I go to row number, in this case, I'll specify row number 2. That's true. Comma, I need to go to column 1. This is column 0. This is column 1. Therefore, I write 1 over here. And then close bracket. That completes my offset for the current reference. Enter. I can see that the value has been taken over there. There are two 150 values available here. So I can simply go to this value, try to make a change and verify if that is correct. Yes, that is correct over here. Control Z to go back. So offset has the capability of getting the value from some other location with reference to a start point. The start point or the reference address becomes column 0 and row 0. That's basically 0, 0 address as a reference point. If I want to display the entire column, for example, over here, I need to modify this now and change this to row number 1 and column number 1. What do I get in return? 250, this value. Enter. Let's verify. 1, enter. That's right. Extension of offset gives us a further feature available which says, for example, if I say comma and then pick up a height, in this case, height available and the width available. Height in this case has to be, for example, 4 cells. So I say the height for the data is 4 cells, for example, comma, and the width is 1 column only. So I say 1 over here. This means offset will return multiple values. Therefore, I must have the blanks available below this to accommodate return of multiple values here. Enter, and we get the entire column available from this particular column. So if I change, for example, this column number to 2, for example, that should point out to this column instead. Enter, and we can see that entire column from year 2020 has been displayed over here. So offset essentially talks about reference point. From there, we pick up a row number, a starting row number, a starting column number, and then if required, height and the width from the location from where we want to pick up the data. In the next part, we can see that we've got the months available here with the number. If I click on this cell, for example, I can see number 3 over here, but the caption months is also appearing. How do I get that? Let's pick up a new cell. So I write number 3, for example, over here, and then 4 over here. It's basically no change, but this display appears like this. So I go to format cells over here, right click, format cells. The display for format cells appear with the number tab. I can then go to custom, specify months in double quotes, and then space, and then a 0 as a number designator. And you can see months 4 appears over here. Okay, I can see that change over here. Whereas in the formula bar, I can see only number, and here I can see the caption also. This way I can define my current column heading, where I don't need specific column heading above the cell, but I want the column heading right in the cell. And if I want to write some other text over here, for example, I can write the text. Number will not mix up over here. So we change that to the number again, 5 for example, and we get the months available there. Let's make a chart right now and try to work with the chart. Press shortcut key Alt F1 to open the column chart here and align the chart using the resize button with the Alt key. So hold the Alt key here and resize the chart here. That's okay. I can then try to change the color of the bars over here by doing a double click. Because it's a single series, so I can apply different colors to the bars over here. Double click, fill option, vary colors by point, go back to series options and expand the bar width over here by reducing the gap width over here. So I can reduce the gap width here. That should be fine. And then we can go to format, shape effects, take the preset option, try any of these. Or we can try, for example, bevel effect and try one of these effects available over here. For example, this. And we settle with this. And then we can apply the data labels on the top. That's fine. Now I need to use the scroll bar over here. So I can resize that again to place my scroll bar here. And the scroll bar can appear from the developer tab. To get the developer tab, you can go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and apply the developer tab there. Once it is applied, we can go to developer tab here, insert drop down, pick up the scroll bar from here and draw it here. Align that to the best of your dimensions. Hold the control key, right click, format control, and then we can decide which is a cell that will be connected to the current operations. So I can choose cell link over here, select this option over here and make sure that the minimum value is 1. My current value is 3, for example, so I can say 3 over here. And the top value is 12 because I need 12 months over there. Change is 1, that's fine. Page change is not required, but we can keep it 12 and then OK. The final effect is, if I try to work on the scroll bar here, holding the shift key, the scroll bar advances or returns back to one step at one time. That's how it works. And the number changes over here. If I click on that again, right side, the number increments there. So the number changes over here. Let us now apply conditional formatting so that we can highlight the number of months selected over here. Select all the months, open Home tab, Conditional Formatting, New Rule. Let us apply the formula over here, equal to row B7 minus 6. So B7 minus 6 becomes 1 because this picks up row number 7 from here, less than equal to B6. So when the data is available with number of rows equal to this number of rows available, then we format. Therefore, those cells will be formatted in this case. Apply format, go to fill, apply the color change, OK, and that should work fine. And we can notice that months are 4 and we can see 4 months highlighted over here. And if I use the scroll bar here, for example, the months reduce to 2 and we can see 2 are highlighted over here. And now we need to connect the scroll bar with the chart. In that case, we use range name and offset combined together. So we can now define the range names using offset so that whenever I work on a particular column, for example, months and values, the number of cells taken by the chart should be equal to selection over here. Let us see how to apply that. We go to Formulas tab, pick up on Name Manager and define the new name from here. First, I need to scroll bar, effect for months available. So I can write the name available as scroll months. And then in this case, I can apply my offset function available so that offset function can pick up this as a reference cell. From that reference cell, for example, I can pick up comma row number 1. So first is my row number. Reference cell is B6. That's done. And then I want row number. I want to go to row number 1. Row number 1 here. Comma. Column is 0. column is 0, and the height has to be as much as selected by B6. So I'll pick up that, and then a comma. Width has to be 1. Close offset, and we are done. First is my reference cell available, and then row 1, column 0. This means current row, but column is 0. And then height has to be determined by B6, and the width will be 1. Let's copy that. We'll need that again. Control C to copy. Okay with that. And we try another range now. Now we go to, for example, scroll values and paste the offset function over here. Now the change that we want here is, I want to go to the value section here from the same reference. So I want to go to next column. The row has to be same. The row has to be 1 only. But when it goes to next column, it will start the selection from here because the width of the column is 1 only. So I'll make a small change here. Change the 0 to column 1. That's it. That's about scroll values. Okay, we're done with that. The value taken will be according to the selection done over here. So if I click here, for example, this will pick up the value like this. And if I go here, for example, months, and then try to select this over here, for example, it shows me it has taken 2 months over here. This means my formula is working fine in the range. So we've defined 2 range names, scroll months and scroll values. Now we can go to select data option on the right click of chart. Here it is. Or we can go to select data from the chart design over here. Same option is available here as well. And then we can go to values here. In the select data window, first box is y-axis and second box is x-axis. So first I go to y-axis. Series name is fine, the value. But the series values can be changed now. And I can go to exclamation sign here. Click after that. Press F2. Then shift select towards right side. And stop here. And then write the range name scroll values. Okay. It's taken Jan and Feb right now. 2 months are taken. I can then go to the x-axis, edit that for example, and the range to be modified here is the months. F2, so that the navigation is available as I select towards right side and type scroll months over here. Okay. Okay. And we are done. Now we can modify the background for this. I've taken the fill series right over here. So I can possibly pick up this over here as the background. Since my chart is selected already in the chart area, I can go to the font available, apply white, color font, and that's fine. And now test my work done. If I now try to work on the scroll bar here, for example, it goes to single month. If I try here, for example, it proceeds further. So if I just try to work on different months over here, I can just try shift, click here, that goes 1 month at a time, scrolling like that. Shift here, for example. So you can notice that the number of months are changing in the cell also, plus the display also is changing correctly. I can directly go to the months over here, click on the cell and type 3, for example, and that shows me 3 months directly. And the selection on the conditional formatting also shows me 3 months over here. One more example, shift and click on the right arrow of the scroll bar, and I can see that my months are changing along with the conditional formatting in column B. That's how we can make scrolling chart from the table available. Let's revise the steps. Select the cell in the table. Press Alt F1 to create a chart. Right click on series, format, go to fill Then vary colors by point to change the color of the bars available. Set data labels and the chart is ready. Create range names for two columns, scroll months with offset, scroll values with offset, where the height in offset must match cell B6. Use option select data for chart and edit ranges for series and categories with range names as learned. Draw scroll bar from developer tab and set the format for scroll bar and start playing. That's about scrolling chart. Thank you.